Waheguruji ka Khalsa, Waheguruji ki Fateh. My name is Gursant Singh. I have advocated for many Sikh causes over the past 35 years and have now dedicated myself to educating the Sikh Panth and the world in general about the organizations founded by the late Yogi Bhajan that are known as 3HO and Sikh Dharma International. Now, I was a member of this group for 30 years, so I know in great detail what really goes on there. And you can see me here in a photograph, group photograph with Yogi Bhajan and other 3HO people from the 1980s. I'm in the brown coat there on the right. Now, I was on security duty for Yogi Bhajan for many of those years, so I'm very familiar with what went on there in the Yogi Bhajan group. I also participated in this Tantric yoga at their summer solstice gathering there in New Mexico, which Jagraj Singh of Basics of Sikhi attended, and we'll be talking about that in this video. So I'm very familiar with all these things that go on there. Again, I wrote also a book, Confessions of an American Sikh, which I will be happy to send you a free PDF copy of, and has in detail about many of these experiences that I had within the Yogi Bhajan group. It's really worth reading, and it has a lot of good information about what goes on there in this Yogi Bhajan group. There has been a great deal of misunderstanding about the purpose of these Yogi Bhajan organizations and how they operate, mostly caused by a deliberate falsified image which Yogi Bhajan and the present leadership of the organizations have been putting out to the world for almost 50 years now. My purpose in everything that I post on Facebook or in other social media is to shed light on 3HO's mendacity and bring the truth about these groups to the world. Now, recently, SikhNet, a website that is part of the Yogi Bhajan empire, put out a video entitled Basics of Sikhi Talk with Mr. SikhNet on judgment among Sikhs. And you can see here Basics of Sikhi, Jagraj Singh, there with the SikhNet group there and all the people that work there. Jagraj Singh is in the blue with the yellow star on, and Gursant Singh, the director and founder of SikhNet, is sitting next to him. There's also a Harijot Singh, who's one of the creative directors over there at SikhNet, who's sitting next to Guru Mustak, who you'll see her in a second. Now, for those who may not know, Basics of Sikhi is an organization based in the UK and mainly run by a young Sikh named Jagraj Singh. Now, Jagraj Singh has apparently dedicated his life to parchaar by propagating Sikhi mainly in English, with a specific target of young Sikhs who've been born in the Sikh diaspora, particularly the UK, USA, and Canada. This is an admirable goal, and he is fulfilling a tremendous need, particularly since the SGPC and most Gurdwara committees have no idea how to approach this group of largely disenchanted young Sikhs. Jagraj Singh speaks eloquently and often passionately about many issues of interest to young Sikhs. For example, on a recent video, he talks about Sikh Maryada and says, when you get a diaspora growing, you need more clarity. Otherwise, things just go all over the place. And in the same lecture, he very wisely says, and obviously, as we talked about, when new people come into Sikhi, they need some guidance as well. End quote from Jagraj Singh. Exactly, Jagraj Singh Ji. They need some guidance, just as we all need guidance from Guru Sahib Ji. So Jagraj Singh then goes on to say, at a panthic level, we all have to agree. We all have to unite. It's obvious that Jagraj Singh feels very strongly about the importance of the Sikh Maryada. Recently, he visited the 3HO Summer Solstice Tantric yoga celebration in New Mexico, USA, where he participated in the various activities they do there. Sadly, it seems that he has chosen to not only ignore the un-Sikh-like practices of 3HO, but to condone them. Now let me explain about the 3HO Summer Solstice Tantric gathering. In 1969, a large group of American hippies gathered in the mountains of New Mexico, summer solstice. Usually July 21st is the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. It is considered by many indigenous people to be a mystical and auspicious time. Of course, Sikh Maryada states that Sikhs should not believe in auspicious times. But let's leave that for now. In 1969, Yogi Bhajan was invited to teach yoga at this first summer solstice hippie gathering. The following year, in 1970, the first official 3HO summer solstice gathering was held, also in New Mexico. This was essentially a hippie gathering. However, no drugs, alcohol, tobacco, or meat were allowed. The teaching was mostly Kundalini Yoga, with some Native American rituals thrown in for good measure. The gathering has been held every year since then at the same time, the last part of June, almost exclusively in New Mexico. Starting in 1971, the practice of Yogi Bhajan's Tantric and Kundalini Yoga became the main focus of this summer solstice gathering. This is still true today, from 1972 onwards. Yogi Bhajan gradually allowed elements of Sikhi to be taught and included in the program. The first Gurdwara was set up in 1973, and there has been a Gurdwara at the summer solstice Tantric Yoga gathering ever since. This Gurdwara has always been essentially a sideshow, a smaller room attached to this much larger structure used for large D1 services with Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib Ji and Prakash, and the same space is used for Tantric and Kundalini Yoga, along with Bhangra, dancing, and other activities. As you can see here, dancing to this Bhangra. This large structure seats at least 1,500 people and is used for the Tantric Yoga practices, which take up 80% of the time during the gathering. At one end, there is a stage which is usually adorned with huge pictures or videos of Yogi Bhajan. The room where Guru Sahib Ji is in Prakash and successive Akhand are held throughout the Tantric practices has a roll-up garage type door which is open for about half an hour in the early morning at the end of what is called the Aquarian Sadhana. More on that shortly. After one Shabad Anand Sahib and Ardas, the door is closed again and kept closed until the following day. There's no public ceremony of Reras or Sukhasan. Now I want to point out here this room where Guru Sahib Ji is kept. And it's right next to where they're doing all of this Tantric yoga and dancing and carrying on like wild animals. This is how they do the garage door, where they open when they want to have a large D1 service. As you can see here, how they open the garage door, and they use the same space for the Gurdwara as they use for the Tantric yoga and all this crazy dancing. This is that same space there, and just a few hours after they have a D1 service, then they have all this crazy dancing and Tantric yoga. Now here is the garage door and the building where Guru Sahib Ji is kept. You can see the doors open and exposed to where they're dancing and doing all this crazy Bhangra. And this is that garage door type thing that I just showed you where they open. And then in the same large space where they have the thousands of people doing the Tantric Yoga and all this dancing, they have their Gurdwara services. So it's really this Bayadbi that they're performing in the Darbar of the Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And as you can see here, like I said, there's an Akhand going on there at this time. I spent 25 years at these summer solstice gatherings, and I would read in the Akhand, and it completely disturbs the Akhand. You can't hear the Gurbani when they're carrying on outside. It's very disturbing and very bad. Now, in the recent SikhNet video, Jagraj Singh says, Solstice has a lot of Sikhi going on. Well, does it? Well, there is the short morning Kirtan program, there's the daily recitation of Japji Sahib, there is one evening of the week devoted to a Ransabai Kirtan, And there is an Amrit Sanchar. There are also a few lectures on Sikhi, or Sikh Dharma, as the Bhajanists call it. But even Jagraj Singh admits, normally not many people come to Sikh Dharma class. In fact, Sikhi is a minor part of the summer solstice event. If you examine pictures of the D1 services in the Tantric Yoga, you'll immediately see that the Gurdwara services are sparsely attended, whereas the Tantric Yoga has more than 1,000 people participating. It is a fact that the majority of time is spent in the practice of Tantric or Kundalini Yoga. There are also supplemental classes, the overwhelming majority of which are devoted to Yogi Bhajan's teachings on non-Sikhi related topics. Jagraj Singh participated in one of these classes. In a speech given at the Solstice program, he said, and I quote Jagraj Singh, "I want to invite you all, if you have some time, to come to the Sikh Dharma tent today. I'm giving a talk about Sikhi in this world, in the Aquarian age." So let's listen to Jagraj Singh as he talks about this Aquarian age. You can see how they put these big videos of Yogi Bhajan at the top there I talked about earlier on the stage. I also want to point out here, this is that Hari Jot Singh that was one of the directors over there at SikhNet. He's participating in this Tantric dance. Looks like he's playing some of the music there for this. Now here's Jagraj Singh receiving a saropa from the Sikh Dharma International head. And here he's talking about this Sikhi in the Aquarian age. Let's listen to him again.
I want to invite you all, if you can, if you've got some time, to come to the Sikh Dharma tent at 2 o'clock today. I'll be doing a talk about Sikhi in this world, in the Aquarian age, and how we can relate to the world and go out and expand, as the Ambassador said, expand. I'll be talking from 2 to 2:30, and also you can come and grab a leaflet from us. We'll be walking around about the YouTube channel, which is Basics of Sikhi. So thank you so much for passing and for giving us time.
So I asked Jagraj Singh, the Aquarian age? Why is a Sikh who spends so much time promoting Sikh Rahat Maryada talking about the Aquarian age? Now I also point out that Jagraj Singh gave this speech exactly a few hours before they went on with this tantric dancing and all this nonsense. And you can see here in the video where he was speaking there. And then, like I said, just a few hours later, they used the same space where Guru Sahib Ji was in Prakash for all this tantric yoga and dancing and such. So it's clear that Jagraj Singh was here and he must have seen all of this going on. So Jagraj Singh, have you forgotten that Sikh Rahat Maryada states that Sikhs should not believe in auspicious times? Are you simply sucking up to your hosts because they are looking after you so well? Or do you really believe this stuff? I also have to ask about something to which you did not refer directly, but of which you spoke quite positively. That's the daily Amrit Vela program that all Bhajanists practice. In 1992, Yogi Bhajan ordained that all of his students, non-Sikhs and Sikhs, begin an early morning practice he called the Aquarian Sadhana. This was to be done forever. In other words, it's a permanent part of Bhajanism and will not be changed unless some individual arises who has equal or even superior status to Yogi Bhajan. This is unlike in the foreseeable future. The Aquarian Sadhana is a curious mix of Gurbani manufactured mantras that are almost Sikh-like, although definitely not Gurbani, and at least one Hindu Sanskrit mantra. Jagraj Singh Ji, in the SikhNet video you said, when I'm in the Amrit Vela program there at summer solstice, people are chanting God's name. People are saying Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. That's actually from Gurbani. Then you said, those people are chanting Japji Sahib. They are chanting Rakhe Rakanahar. And these statements are absolutely true. Japji Sahib, the Shabad Rakhe Rakanahar, and the Gurbani Tuk, Waheguru, 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 are all part of this Aquarian sadhana. What is both surprising and disturbing is what you don't say, Jagraj Singh Ji. You neglect to mention the other Kachi Bani that is an integral part of the Aquarian sadhana. How about the mantra Ekonkar, Satnam Siddhi Waheguruji. Even though the separate words may be found in Gurbani, this combination does not occur in Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib Ji. It is Kachi Bani. How about the mantra that begins Vayanti? This is supposedly a mantra given by the Hindu sage Patanjali and is in Sanskrit. Why are people who call themselves Sikhs chanting a Hindu/Sanskrit mantra? Why don't you talk about this? What about the mantra Sat Sri Akal, Mahakal, Mahakal, Satnam Akal Murit, Waheguru? What kind of nonsensical mishmash is this? You don't talk about when they chant Guru Guru Waheguru, Guru Ram Das Guru, which is a creation of Yogi Bhajan and is certainly not Gurbani. So, Jagraj Singh Ji, I have to ask you, how can you ignore a group of people who are supposed to be Sikhs chanting and singing what is not Gurbani during a time that is traditionally reserved for Nitnam Bani or Astadevar? You are well known as a Kathakar, and your lecture on Sikh Maryada has been viewed over 40,000 times. So it is very disturbing to me that you choose to promote the fact that they chant, 3HO chants certain parts of Gurbani while ignoring so much that they do which is non-Sikh. In the video you made with SikhNet, you talk about how you should gently inspire people if you find that what they are doing is not correct according to established traditions of Rahat. So I have to ask you, Jagraj Singh Ji, do you talk to the Bhajanists about their use of Kachibani and Hindu Sanskrit mantras in their so-called Aquarian sadhana? If you did, you certainly have not mentioned it anywhere in any of your videos I have seen. Did you talk to them about the practice of Tantric and Kundalini Yoga, which is certainly against the Sikh Maryada? Do you know that the former Jethadar of the Atal Tucket, Sadhu Singh Bada, a condemned Yogi Bhajan for his teachings, claims and actions that Sikhs consider blasphemous or beadbi? Do you know that Jethadar Sadhu Singh was on the point of excommunicating Yogi Bhajan because of his un-Sikh activities when he was forced from his post, very possibly because of political pressure that Yogi Bhajan applied to Guru Charan Singh Tora? Do you consider, Jagraj Singh, that 3HO and Sikh Dharma to be part of the Khalsa Panth? If you, Jagraj Singh, believe it is so, do you accept their Tantric and Kundalini Yoga practices? Do you believe that these practices are part of Sikhi? Do you, Jagraj Singh, approve of their wild Tantric dancing and what amounts to be the Dabar of the Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib Ji that interrupts the Kanpats and drowns out the Gurbani? Just as I talked about when I experienced this during the Kanpats, there over many times over the last 25 years. Do you, Jagraj Singh, believe 3HO's so-called Aquarian sadhana to be as a legitimate practice of Sikhi? Do you, Jagraj Singh, believe, as the Bhajanists do, that Guru Nanak practiced Kundalini Yoga? Yogi Bhajan's big lie that he's told about Sikhi being part of Tantric Yoga and Kundalini Yoga. In the SikhNet video, you have expressed concern for the many innocent people who come to 3HO, not for Sikhi, but to learn yoga. Do you, Jagraj Singh, believe that they should be exposed to the lies that are a part of 3HO dogma? That Yogi Bhajan was a master of Kundalini Yoga by the age of 16, that Kundalini Yoga, as taught by Yogi Bhajan, is an ancient science, that the Sikh Nishan Sahib is a symbol of the Hindu goddess Adi Shakti, that Yogi Bhajan was celibate, as were his female staff members who lived with him, that Yogi Bhajan was given the title of Sri Singh Sahib by Jethadar Sadhu Singh at the Akal Tucket in March of 1971. Others have asked you these kinds of questions, and you have refused to answer them, Jagraj Singh. If you are teaching what you call basics of Sikhi, all Sikhs have a right to know what it is you actually believe. I, for one, cannot see how any person can be a prominent and supporter of Sikh Maryada and at the same time support the un-Sikh-like practice of 3HO Sikh Dharma. So, Jagraj Singh Ji, my humble request to you is that you respond to the questions above. None of them is unreasonable. None of them is unfair. Anyone who sets themselves up as a parchaar becomes a public figure, and the Sangat has a right to know where they stand on the important issues of the day. Jagraj Singh Ji, the ball is in your court. I and many others look forward to your response. Let me just say one more thing. These issues are not going to go away. You can try to ignore this message, like SikhNet has done when they block me on social media and delete my questions. But if you do, the whole Panth will be watching, and I and others will continue to ask these same questions. This is not about hate. This is about concern for the future of the Panth. In the past, Sikhi became corrupted by Hindu practices. No true Sikh wants to see this happen again. Waheguruji ka Khalsa, Waheguruji ki Fateh.